So by the time you accepted an offer, you had a timeline, you had the clear end zone, picture of the end zone
Yep.
with the timeline. You knew what was valuable to potential buyers. And this isn't in here, but how did that help you assess the offers you received and
So initially,
how
we
to assess?
never, so those initial four were more just verbal expressions of we would love to talk to you about acquiring. And we said we're not ready because we knew what our EBITDA, right?
Right.
And we knew that there was probably no multiple of EBITDA at that time that you could have given us that would have gotten us close to the end.
Because you built not for EBITDA, you built for the right team at that
We
point.
built for, exactly at that point in time. We were optimizing for growth through team. So then a year later, one of those four continued to follow up. Two of the four we said no to. The other two we said maybe later. So one of the two that we said maybe later continued to follow up, and about a year later, October of 2022, they said, "Hey, just give us last year's P&L and year-to-date P&L, and let us get a letter of intent out. Let us put a number on it." And we said, "Yeah, whatever," because again, we thought that we knew what the agency was worth and where we were in our timeline and how close we were to our end. What we didn't know was what I feel like everyone who is planning on selling a business needs to know is that the value isn't in what you set it as, it's what the buyer sets it at or sees it as. So if it's if it is an acquisition with a lot of synergy, there is an increased amount of value for your business to the acquiring company. Examples you see on the high end are things like when Google bought YouTube, right?
Yeah.
They gave YouTube a ginormous amount, right? Like they gave, like a lot of those acquisitions that happen on the, like a lot of the tech stuff. And it's like, how did they even come up with that number? Well, they knew that they could add their ad platform into YouTube and monetize the heck out of it, right? Like there was a synergistic relation there. If the story, the way that I like to frame it is if I owned a plumbing company that was doing $10 million a year and I had hundreds and hundreds of customers, repeat and referral business, and there was an HVAC company for sale in my town. Tony, how much do you know about running an HVAC business?
Yeah, nothing.
Right? So the value of that HVAC business of the HVAC business to you is kind of the industry standard multiple, right? Maybe a 3x multiple, a 5x multiple, whatever, depending on what it is. But if I have a plumbing company with hundreds of repeat and referral clients and they have a team of HVAC technicians that can service my client, that business is worth a lot more to me because the second that I acquire it, it is now a $5 million HVAC company because of the repeat and referral customers that I can now sell those services, right? It may become a $10 million HVAC service, right? Because of that. But if you buy it, just a $2
Yeah.
million HVAC company that you have to figure out how to add value, right? So that was what happened with us. There was a strategic acquisition. So the company that acquired us was the largest CRM in the roofing space. They had about 6,000 contractors on their software at the time. We had, I think we were pushing 150 clients or something like that, right? So there was a lot of room to sell into their customers. So they were willing to give us essentially a future value in a way, right? They were willing to move closer to the end zone for us because of the thesis that they could then just take our marketing services and sell to
Right. Which they had a huge database of. Yeah.
a huge trusted database of companies that use them all day, every, right?